What's up, YouTube? Hope you guys are feeling good. My name is Elaru, and today I'm back with a new video I want to check out with you guys. This is called Candace Owens Debate College Feminist Full Clip. It's gonna be hot. Okay, guys, now we do it to talk less and we react more. Let's check this out.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. So I noticed you had a lot of thoughts on feminism. I'm a feminist, but
Really
I
fine.
was just wondering, how do you differentiate between the extremism that exists in feminism, as it does across, multiple different ideologies, but how do you differentiate between the extremism and how, feminists like me think? I don't hate men.
It's a great question, and I'm glad you asked it. It's a great, great question. So what you have to realize about the left when you talk about extremism is they hack words that once had real meaning, and they take them for their own nefarious goals, right? So they'll say racism, and you'll go, oh my God, no, really, racism used to exist, but now it means organizing your pantry. That's obviously not racism. That's completely ridiculous. You see something like feminism, and once upon a time, women were fighting for the right to vote. Well, now we have that. We have equal footing, and now they're using those terms. They're hiding behind the shield of feminism, and they're doing actually horrible things in society. And I blame feminists for almost every ill that we have right now, because they've encouraged people not to act as a woman, and they bash men all the time. And I think that they have contributed the most to the breakdown of family in terms of an ideology. Now,
Yeah, that's true.
You,
That's true.
My question.
No, I'm getting there.
Okay.
Now, for you, you're like, okay, but I actually am somebody that just believes in equality, that there should be equality between the sexes, right?
I think it's more culturally and socially, not necessarily in the realm of legality.
Sure, so I'm going to ask you, what is it socially? So you could call yourself something, right? That means that there's some fight that you have. What is it socially that you and I have as women that we don't have that men do? Why is there a need for you to be a feminist?
I think as women, we are undervalued when it comes to our intelligence. I think people, especially for me, as a woman who, I'm sorry, what you say?
Go ahead, let her talk.
For me, as a woman, I feel like a lot of people look at me and think I'm superficial. They think I'm vapid. They don't necessarily see that I could be intelligent, that I could speak for myself. They tend to automatically...
Guys, don't be rude. Go ahead.
I tend to get belittled a lot, and that comes from men, not necessarily women, right?
So you're saying in your personal capacity, men are belittling you, right? But when you talk about affecting actually a social change, this might be your personal experience, but does that mean that all women are going through this, or that all women are experiencing this belittlement by men?
And see, I understand that, but I think also when I listen to you speak, and you speak on why you don't like feminism, I hear a lot of anecdotal work, and I hear a lot of personal experience, like your experience in that one class that you had, whereas I've had 5-6 classes in my gender studies courses, and I've never experienced anything
that's totally
like
fine.
that.
That's
ever.
totally fine.
You know
Guys,
what I mean?
They're
So
just
I just
laughing
don't feel like it's fair to take personal
it's totally
experience
fine. Yeah, I get
and
what
put
you're
that onto
saying.
everybody.
I'm actually talking about the real world consequences of a dangerous ideology telling women that they have to take their clothes off, that they should be on TikTok. I'm talking about real world consequences.
Yeah,
I'm
but I
talking
feel like
about
that's
literally the fact that
extremism.
women are no longer, like, they're by and large all climbing the corporate ladder, and that children are being ceded over to the state. So I was giving you an anecdotal example of what happened in my feminist class, but the repercussions of that are seen everywhere. What I am saying is that what I'm offering to you is not to feel like you have to give yourself an ism, right? Don't feel like you have to put yourself in a box. Don't feel like you have to put yourself into some weird social
not necessary.
constructs. I think
It's
that
not
what you'll find
necessary.
with time is that it constrains you unnecessarily. I don't have a problem with the fact if you want to identify as a feminist and you think that there is some fight that needs to be ended. I don't personally think
Is
that
conservatism not a box any more than feminism is?
well, saying that I have conservative principles, feminism is not being a conservative or being a liberal, right? You're talking about an ideology, right? A system you think
I would assume conservatism is also an ideology as well, is it not?
Sure. Conservatism is an ideology. These are the things that we believe. You could say that everything is an ideology. What I'm saying to you is that I would not necessarily paint yourself into a corner. You don't seem to me like you have any issues speaking up. You don't seem to me like you feel like you're constrained in any way. You're standing up here today. I would offer to you that there's never been a more remarkable time to be a woman in this society. By every statistic, we are doing better than men.
That's true.
A fact, right? Men have a higher, we are graduating at a higher rate than men. Men have higher suicide rates. That's why I said to you, despite how you're feeling, what are the real world implications that suggest to you that you are somehow beneath men? You might have a personal experience where a man...
She has a point.
Assault everywhere, in the military, in the home.
So are these the things that you're fighting to end sexual assault?
Of course, yeah.
Okay, great. You don't have to be a feminist to fight to end sexual assault.
You don't have to be,
Men and women.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I don't believe you have to ideology.
It's a great cause.
But it's,
Men
of course, a
and
part of the
women go
ideology.
through that. I just said to him, one of the biggest things that I give to every year is for human sex trafficking. It doesn't require to be a feminist. Now, you seem really committed to it. I've said to you since the very beginning, if you want to be a feminist girl, put it on a t-shirt, wear it, put a hashtag. I'm just telling you, don't unnecessarily put yourself into a corner, and to recognize that it has never been a greater time. I would offer it is a way better time in this society to be a woman.
Candace has a valid point. I mean, just look at the facts she gave. The truth is, according to her, feminists actually play a very vital role in the breaking up of marriages. I mean, some men overdo it. Some men overdo the "I'm the head" thing. But when a woman starts to feel like she has to be superior to him, because that's what feminism now has turned out to be. It is no longer about equality now, it's about superiority, because as she has stated, they now have equal rights to vote. In the world today, you see numerous female doctors, female engineers, female drivers. I mean, these were male occupations before. So you can see that I'll call them the early feminists actually had a goal, and they have done that. But then the new generation is just turning into something else. You see, according to the student, she's a feminist. She doesn't hate men. She wants to be a mom and all that. Candace made a statement. She said, most of them believe that a woman should climb up the corporate ladder and leave her children to the state and all that. Now, that's the annoying thing. Feminists overhype motherhood. They make it seem like when a woman does that, they make it seem like, what? Motherhood is hard. You don't expect her to do that and come back to care for some annoying kids. But you signed up for it. And you're a woman, technically, that is your duty. When you give birth, you're meant to look after your young. So why do you make it seem like it's a hard, unwanted thing to do? I mean, having aspirations, having goals, according to Candace, is quite fine. But you should also, regardless of what the feminists tell you, you should also look after your children. And this girl complained about not being able to stand up freely and speak for herself, always being belittled by men in the room, always feeling like people always making her feel like she's not as intelligent as she points herself out to be, and she describes this as her problem. And Candace told her, I'm pretty sure you're not withheld or restrained here. You're standing, you're talking, and you're expressing your opinion. I mean, I'm looking at the screen, I can see a lot of men in this room. And at some point, when it seems like she's not making any sense, is when they shout. And even Candace puts them to order. Now, if she feels all this, then what gave her the confidence to stand up? I mean, that time we're growing, they'll tell us that, they'll tell the guys in the class that a woman doesn't have to head, that she's going to pass you in your academics test. Now, the thing is, as I said, some men overdo it. Feminism and extreme superiority on the part of men has eaten deep into the society. And most people just capitalize on it, twist the words to their own feelings, and then put it out and sell it out to some people. I mean, your experience can be another man's experience. Right now, we can all see she's not being restrained. So that complaint, even though Candace didn't really say, it wasn't really a foothold, because no one is restraining her. And then I do quite agree with her that on basis of sexual assault, women are the main victims. And Candace did point out something. She said, you don't need to be a feminist to correct that. I mean, that's a societal harm, not just women. Women, yes, women are being trafficked more, but as an individual, not as a feminist, you can make a difference. You can stand out to it. You can stand up to it, rather. You don't have to be a feminist to stop human trafficking. And Candace also pointed out something way correctly. In the society today, women actually excel more than men, because women naturally are smart. That's the fact. So in academics, they put in their all, due to the fact that they know that there's someone, maybe for those of us then that there's a guy just waiting for her to sleep so that he can pass her. But women are smart. And in terms of business, I mean, you can imagine a male and a female doing the same line of work. The truth is, the female is going to get more patronized than the men. So at some point, women have a higher advantage in society. And the truth is, Candy's just she's just absolutely against feminism and everything that has to do with it. And I'm totally with her on this one. Feminists overhype, overrate, and take things extreme. And this was even the genesis of this girl's question. She asked, what's the difference between a feminist who just wants equality and an extremist? I mean, you have equality already. What's the point of still overdoing things? They'll tell you it's your body, do whatever you want with it. Nah. If you're married, you don't do whatever you want with it. As a married woman, there are things you need to do for the sake of your husband, actually. Feminists say, why? He doesn't own you. He has married you. And in the spiritual order of things, you answer to him. But I'll just end here, though. Hope you guys enjoyed learned a lot on this video, rather. Leave your comment in the comment section. And please leave a thumbs up at the end of this video. Thank you all for watching and stay safe.